I'm Lafitte Pinkai. 2 races left on the Friday program. And the 7th race, 10 minutes out, we'll have a post parade in just a few. They'll be traveling 6.5 furlongs down the hillside turf course, scratch number 2. Field of 10, and the favorite, Messana, as we look at Ron and Debbie McAnally's Special Charm post parade. There's Joanne Betty's Baby, 12-1 currently for Van Belvoir.
Big price on this filly. Love the way she won. She obviously beat cheaper, $32,000 claimers, but she won in hand from off the pace, claimed by a sharp barn in Van Belvoir. She's run well on this turf course. She is way too big a price at 12-1.
Number 3, Madre Luna. Joe Talamo seeking his 3rd win in the afternoon.
Decent second, 2 back. That was on the turf course across town at Hollywood. First time at the meet, December 29th on the hill. Didn't break all that well and ran an okay 4th behind Tribal Spy. Zambo also comes out of that race.
Number 4, the McAnally Special Charm. And Edwin Maldonado taking over for the absent Patrick Valenzuela.
Out of the multiple stakes winning mare, Olympic Charmer, also trained by Ron McAnally, only bred by his wife Debbie. Special Charm, just 1 win in 18 career starts.
And number 5 is Messana, 6-5 favorite, 9 minutes to post.
Broker maiden first time out November 28th at odds of 5-2. No published works for almost a month after that. The 3 works since, and she is the choice at 6-5.
Number 6, Blake's Magic, idle since last summer.
Good win last time out for a trainer who had a very good 2013 Mark Glatt, and off to a good start here. Of his first 20 starters, 9 have been first or second.
Number 7, Zambo, 2nd down the hill, facing similar on the 29th of December.
Beaten favor that day at 8-5 behind Tribal Spy, but a good race in defeat. Been first or second, 6 of 13 career tries.
Number 8 is Escape Act, the half-sister to Papa Clem.
Papa Clem off to a good start in his stud career, and Escape.
We needed him here in California.
Yeah, really did, especially with his pedigree, the smart strike, and everything else about it. Escape Act showed speed last time out and then got a little bit tired.
Number 9, Diaminda, the Irish filly, English raced today, making her North American debut.
Being bet like she can run. First in the country for Patty Gallagher. She's currently 7-2. Her win came in England at Ascot when she did a 9-horse field back on July 20th of 2012.
Mike Smith to do the honors in her stateside debut. And towards the outside, Macabre still seeking her first win on U.S. soil in her 4th start here.
Another filly too big a price. Lafitte, her American debut at Domo was very good, going a mile at odds of 4-1. She didn't run back to that race, but maybe fresh on the hill. She sprinted successfully in Europe. She might have a look at a giant number.
And to the far outside, number 11, Deity. First after the claim, trainer Denise Brewer.
Claimed off Matt Shue last time for $25,000. A win at odds of 12-1. That was back on December 5th. First start back for the new connections.
So that's the field. 10 deep. Traveling 6.5 furlongs down the hillside turf course. The purse, $58,000. 10 of them. And we check in with Scott Hazelton with Gary Stute on Escape Act, currently 15-1.
Gary, last time out, came back to the hillside turf course after sprinting over at Hollywood Park on turf, and now you're back on the hill again. What led you to give it another try?
I was thinking of stretching her out, but I didn't think she got enough out of that last race to stretch her out yet, so I'm going to try her short one more time. The good thing about the hill, I think, horses that actually want to route can win down the hill, where at Hollywood Park, they couldn't win going 6 furlongs over there. So trying a few things different with her, and hopefully she'll respond to them, I hope.
What are some of the things you've tried?
Well, I'm going to try to, looks like she's the only speed, but I told Tyler, I don't care if she's on the lead, but don't ask her. It seems like when you let her run early, she just falls apart late, so get her against the bit. I don't care where you're laying, and hopefully she'll come running.
All the best.
Thanks.
Those California 3-year-olds were awfully good that year. As we look at Escape Act, the half-sister to Papa Clem. Papa Clem started out here. He went on to win an Arkansas Derby. I Want Revenge was here before going to New York twice. Pioneer of the Nile, who wound up running 2nd in the Kentucky Derby. That was a strong West Coast contingent of 3-year-olds.
Very good group, and as you said earlier, it's good to have Papa Clem in California with his pedigree and his race record. You look at a filly like Miss Houdini, and Gary Stute's in kind of a tough spot because she's a filly you can never run for a tag. You cannot get her confidence up by dropping because somebody will claim her because of her pedigree, right? You have to keep running in allowance races because you can't put her in for a tag at any point. So it's a little tricky because a lot of times you got to feel like this. At some point you say, well, let's put her in for 50 or 40 so we can get her confidence up. But you can't do that with this filly. You got to keep running her in these allowance races, and hopefully she'll turn things back around.
I say it was 2002, maybe, Miss Houdini winning that Grade 1 Del Mar debutante at a price for Bo Hirsch, Gary Stute, and Gary Stevens in the saddle. And she's turned out to be a terrific brood mare, and the mother of Escape Act here, who is currently 16-1. Messana, How impressed were you by her 3-length romp
Good
in
win.
her debut back in November?
Good win, Lafitte. She got off at odds of 5-2. She didn't beat the strongest field, but she sure did it nicely. Broke okay, hit the front, powered away, and won in good time. She got an 87. Big number for a first-time starter, even though she was a 3-year-old. Like I said, she missed almost a month. No published works from her race until December 22nd. Since then, 3 works, including 5/8 and 59 and 4 on January 16th. So she looks like the horse to beat. I don't know if even money is the right price. She definitely looks like the horse to beat, but I think it's a much more contentious race than that price would tell you.
How do you project what she was able to accomplish going 6 furlongs on cushion and what she'll be trying today in her second career start going down the hill, trying grass for the first time?
Always a question mark. I mean, she's got a fine grass pedigree. She's by Miz and Mass of a Gone Western or Gone Overboard. So, you know, nothing says she can't turf. She did it nicely on the synthetic first time out. Should get a good trip, but I just don't think she's that much better on paper than the rest of these. I thought the 9 Diaminda coming in from Europe is worth a look. Zambo, and the 2 horses who are both big numbers, maybe not to win, but to hit the board. The 1 Joe and Betty's Baby and the 10 Macabre. I think both way overlaid, 11-1 and 19-1. Joe and Betty's Baby, I know she only beat 32 claimers, but she did it with an explosive turn of foot the final 16th. And Van Belvoir has been absolutely deadly off the claim in the last year or so in Southern California.
And Joe and Betty's Baby, 11-1. There's another look at an 18-1 shot Deity drawn to the extreme outside. Diaminda, the Irish filly. Now, the good news, she doesn't have to hook the likes of Sky Lantern this afternoon, as she did in her last start last May. Sky Lantern, who was a defeated Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf choice here at Santa Anita a couple of years ago. She's gone on to be a multiple Group 1 stakes winner. So clearly she has faced much better Diaminda. She wasn't competitive on that particular afternoon. What are you expecting from her today in her first start here in North America?
The fact that the connections got Mike Smith to ride and that she's getting bet tells me she's trained well. Got 4 works, too. She started training, at least on paper, December 22nd. 4 works all across town at Hollywood Park, which is still open for training. Guys still are training there, even though the racing is shut down. So the fact to get Mike Smith Lafitte, I think, tells you she's going to run big. Also, first-time Lasix, so look for a good effort. She draws a good post. She was 50-1 in that 1,000 guineas, so on paper, she was pretty much overmatched in regards to the rest of the field. And the 1-2 finishers both came back to win out of that race.
Diaminda at 4-1. There is Zambo. You don't get Bejarano very often at even a decent price these days around here. At 9-2, if you just bet the leading rider blindly, well, you're getting a price here.
Nice price at 9-2. Comes off a good effort. Very consistent mare. She doesn't win often, but she's consistent. She pays her way. She made $89,000 last year. She made $78,000 a year before with only 2 wins. So nice horse to own. She tries. She's always in the hunt. And you get Bejarano at a price and should get a good stalking trip from her somewhat outside post.
I think the good news for Diaminda in the fact that Mike Smith is in the saddle as she's going to try this downhill turf course for the first time. It's very close to European in style. I'm sure she's seen something similar to it overseas, but also for her first start in new surroundings, a good post position towards the outside I think is always going to aid their cause.
Absolutely. Draws well. Her loads late, gets a good post. You look at her form over in Europe, looks like she's got maybe, you know, a little bit of pace. She doesn't look like she's a dead come from behind her. Mike Smith up. She get a nice stalking trip. Like I said, the favorite looks like the horse to beat, but 6-5 just seems a little bit short, and to me looks like a much more competitive race.
You know, do you normally assume when you're evaluating European form in terms of style, and you see a horse that maybe has gone to the lead in races in Ireland and France and England, they run against horses here in the States and they're more mid-pack? On paper, Diaminda looks like a filly who does like to lay relatively close, perhaps assume the role as a stalker. I've seen many situations, horses that have this approach on paper in races overseas, they show up here and they drop out the back door and they assume the role as a stone closer.
Especially down the hill. A lot of times horses, the term I always use, they get lost that first part of the race down if they've never been on it. They kind of drop out of it and then come running once they figure out, you know, it's a different type of course. As you noted, though, Lafitte, in England, specifically, there are so many more different types of courses in America, so she's probably run on something a little different instead of your
the
usual
course isn't gonna throw her.
Yeah, and she's drawn right, she's trained well, gets Lasix, so good race here in the first half of the late double this afternoon.
6-5 on Messana with Victor Espinosa. They've just about reached the starting gate. You hit all in both legs of the late double here.
Ticket's dead, but in theory, I thought these races both could be won by price horses, and I thought both favorites were vulnerable, so that means a chalky daily double, the way things have been going. Lafitte, look for both favorites to win here in races 7 and 8 to wrap the card. But seriously, I just thought they were both tough races where you might catch a price here at the end of the card, and we still might be in pick 6 Caroverland. The last race hurt the chances with Peace Nick winning.
Sure.
But ahead of that, you had Sizzlin' Joe, you had Tim's Go Girl, and you had Legacy. So there's still a pretty good chance, especially after a big day, because people back off and you don't get as big a pool as you would usually on a Friday.
How many tickets still alive? 19 tickets
19.
with 2 races to go in today's pick 6. We'll keep you posted, see how that changes by virtue of the result of this 7th race on the eve of the Cal Cup tomorrow. And, of course, the feature of the Grade 2 Santa Monica run early on the program. That'll be race 4. Tomorrow here at Santa Anita. Messana for John Sheriff's even money favorite with Victor Espinosa in the saddle. Trevor Deming with the call. Race 7 at Santa Anita.
Santa Anita does take this opportunity for those watching from the Treasure Island in Las Vegas, the site of this weekend's $1.5 million daily racing form NTRA handicapping championship. It's presented by Racetrack Television Network, Sovereign Stable, and the Treasure Island. The best of luck to all our players this afternoon. This is one of their designated races. Blake's Magic now will be second last, and then Deity the last one. Deity coming up. Gates closed, all set. And away they go. Deity broke very fast from the outside gate, set straight off for the lead. Escape Act is coming quickly in the gold cap. Inside of that, Zanbo with a white cap. Far side is Macabre, and here's Messana now going up to join them. Madre Luna kicking through at the rail. Madre Luna all the way up to 3rd. Then we come back to Diamonda, very keen to go on. Behind that comes Blake's Magic, being followed by Special Charm. Joe and Betty's Baby last. 8 lengths would cover them all. Down the hill they come, and Madre Luna along the inside is joined by Deity. These two bring them down the hill. Madre Luna, Deity now in front by just over a length. Racing in behind them comes Zanbo at the rail. On the far side we have Escape Act, and then comes Messana, very keen to go on. Messana, white colours on a tight hold. Meanwhile, Diamonda's coming wide to tackle them as well. Just in behind that, Macabre, and then Joe and Betty's Baby. Last of all is Special Charm. They're at the top of the lane, and Madre Luna on the inside, taken on by Zanbo in the white cap. On the outside, Deity coming with a late run. Macabre on the extreme outside. Diamonda's in with a shot too. Now it's Macabre on the grandstand side. Macabre's mowing them down. Zanbo on the inside. Macabre will win. Macabre perfectly timed up to beat Zanbo. Diamonda will finish 3rd.
Turning it on in the stretch and showing some extreme acceleration. Macabre for trainer Gary Mandela. The handshake and the victory. Macabre closing at 21-1 if you need her.
And this is not Monday morning quarterbacking, Lafitte. I said there are 2 horses at way too big a price. Joe and Betty's Baby and this horse Macabre, because her first race in the U.S. was very good at Del Mar. For whatever reason, she regressed in her next 2, but Gary Mandela gave him some time off. Put a couple good works into her. Flavian Prado, who rides a lot for Gary's dad also. And this is a giant number on this horse. Can't believe she was that big a price. And
Look
for
at her
once,
turn it on late.
They all worked. 21-1 on top of a 4-1. I thought the favorite was very vulnerable, and she finished off the board. That was the 5, Messana.
Macabre taking full advantage.
God, that's a big price.
That's a huge
Why do you
number.
make me bet after the pick 4 got knocked out?
Yeah, I do what I can. I'm trying to help you here. I'm here for you, man. 21-1. Flavian Pratt, and it sounds like we're en route to a pick 6 carryover for Saturday. We'll check those numbers when we come back. A coverage here from Santa Anita. All that available on hrtv.com. You can save 25%. Use that promo code.
Sounds like a good deal. About as good a deal as getting 21-1 on Macabre. And
man,
Flavian Pratt rode her, I think it was last year, and I really liked the way he rode. He didn't get many chances, but he seems like a real good position rider. He can finish, and you always, as in this case, get an overlaid price on him. 44-20 over Zanbo and Diamonda. The favorite off the board led to a trifecta just under the IRS sign-up limit, $594.60. And I'm pretty sure that wiped out all pick 6 tickets. In fact, I am now positive because I just looked over the simulcast.
Carryover Saturday.
Carryover
for the Cal Cup.
Cal Cup.
We check in with Scott in the winner's circle.
And those two gentlemen involved in that pick six carryover, if you can thank them for that, are standing next to me. Hank Notov is the owner, and you got this filly out of Ireland. How did you come up with this purchase on this filly?
Well, I have a British bloodstock agent named Carl McEntee. Gary and I put a plan together to go buy a horse in Europe last year, bring him to the States so we could have a ship in at Delmar and qualify for the special bonuses. So she fired down there, ran second, and we did qualify for a nice bonus at Delmar. She then got a little sick. She had a small lung infection off of that last race, so we knew that we were loaded for bear coming into the race today because she was actually ill the last race.
Well, congratulations on the victory. And Gary, looking at the way that she ran, she was down on the inside in her last try. Do you think maybe being out in the clear had something to do with it too?
No, I think Hank's right. Being healthy had the most to do with it. We diagnosed her with some inflammation in her lungs after her last race. Maybe just the change in climate had gotten to her a little bit, and she ran dull a couple times for us. Just needed a little bit of break and a little bit of help, and we gave that to her, and she ran very well today. Good job by Flavia and Pratt to get her to relax because she'd gotten a little rank her last couple races as well, and settling, I think, is a big key for this filly.
Are you available to work the edge and diagnose the pick six carryover tomorrow that we want to know?
I'm not, unfortunately. I have to take Hank and get him drunk before he goes on his plane.
Sounds like a plan. I choose that over the edge too. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks, Scott.
I'm hosting the edge, and I choose that over.
You could do both.
Yeah, that is true. It might make for a livelier show. But in all seriousness, Bradford and I will be taking a look at pick fours because obviously we know there was going to be a pick six carryover. So we got the pick four at San Anita and a pick four at Gulfstream for tonight's edge. That is at 5 o'clock Pacific.
About the start of the meet for Gary Mandela.
Excellent
Having
start.
saddled 10 horses, that is his 4th win already. And at a big price here, overlaid Macabre, powerhousing through the stretch and very quick to give credit to Flavian Pratt and the winning trainer Gary Mandela.
I like what I've seen of Flavian Pratt. Lafitte, I don't know how much his business can increase, but maybe he'll pick up some more business. He's riding one. He did a nice job on that horse. And by the way, as we speak, the carryover pops up magically on the simulcast feed. $74,221 in Lafitte after a big day. That's a pretty good number for a Friday.
I thought it would be